Born in Pella, the capital of the Kingdom of Macedon in 356 BCE, Alexander the Great was destined for greatness. His father was King Philip II, a ruler of ambition and vision. His mother was Olympias, a woman of fierce pride and even fiercer ambition for her son. Tutored by the great philosopher Aristotle, young Alexander's mind was shaped by philosophy, science, and strategy. He devoured the works of Homer, dreaming of heroes and glory. At the age of 20, Alexander ascended to the Macedonian throne after his father's assassination. Many saw a young, untested ruler ripe for exploitation. They would soon learn their error. Alexander was a prodigy of warfare, a leader of unmatched charisma, and a man possessed by a burning ambition to conquer the known world. He quickly consolidated his power, crushing rebellions with ruthless efficiency. With Greece under his control, Alexander set his sights eastward towards the vast and wealthy Persian Empire. The Persian Empire, ruled by Darius III, was a sprawling realm of immense wealth and ancient lineage. It seemed invincible, a slumbering giant. Alexander, however, saw not an insurmountable obstacle, but an opportunity. He envisioned a world united under his rule, a world where Greek culture and learning would flourish from the Aegean Sea to the Indus River. His dream, though audacious, was not the product of youthful naivete. Alexander possessed the intellect to recognize opportunity, the will to seize it, and the military genius to make it a reality. This was the beginning of a legend. Alexander's army was not a blunt instrument of brute force. It was a finely honed weapon, forged in the fires of countless campaigns and tempered by innovative tactics. At its core was the Macedonian phalanx, a fearsome formation of infantry armed with long pikes called sarissas. This wall of shields and spears was nearly impenetrable, capable of breaking enemy lines with mechanical precision. Yet Alexander understood that victory on the battlefield required more than just a strong infantry. He employed a combined arms approach, utilizing the strengths of various military units in a symphony of destruction. His cavalry, the Companions, was composed of noble Macedonians, renowned for their equestrian skills and unwavering loyalty. They were the hammer to the phalanx's anvil, delivering decisive charges that shattered enemy formations. Alexander also recognized the importance of ranged warfare, deploying skilled archers and javelin throwers to harass the enemy and soften their ranks before the main engagement. His military genius was not confined to tactics alone. Alexander was a master of logistics, ensuring his army was well supplied even on long campaigns. He understood the importance of terrain, often using it to his advantage to outmaneuver and trap his enemies. Most importantly, Alexander led from the front, inspiring his men by sharing their dangers and hardships. This combination of tactical brilliance, logistical prowess, and inspirational leadership made Alexander's army the most formidable fighting force the world had ever seen. The Persian Empire, vast and wealthy, underestimated the young Macedonian king. They would pay dearly for their arrogance. Alexander's campaign began at the Granicus River in 334 BCE. The Persian satraps of Asia Minor, confident in their numerical superiority, met Alexander's army head-on. The ensuing battle was a testament to Alexander's tactical acumen and the discipline of his troops. The Persian cavalry, hampered by the rough terrain and the steady advance of the Macedonian phalanx, was routed. Alexander, leading the charge with his companions, smashed through the Persian lines, scattering their forces and securing a decisive victory. This victory sent shockwaves throughout the Persian Empire. The legend of Alexander, the invincible conqueror, was born. From the Granicus, Alexander marched south, liberating Greek city-states along the Ionian coast. He then turned east, deeper into the heart of the Persian Empire. He faced the full might of the Persian army, led by Darius III himself, at the Battle of Issus in 333 BCE. Despite being outnumbered, Alexander once again emerged victorious, outmaneuvering and outfighting the Persian forces. Darius fled the battlefield, leaving his family in Alexander's hands. This victory opened the door to the Persian heartland. The final confrontation came at the Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BCE. On a vast plain in Mesopotamia, the two armies clashed in a battle that would decide the fate of empires. Alexander, displaying his trademark tactical brilliance, lured the Persian forces into a trap, shattering their lines with a well-timed cavalry charge. Darius once again fled in disarray, marking the end of the Achaemenid Empire. Alexander was now the master of Persia, his empire stretching from the Aegean Sea to the borders of India. Section 4. Cities of the Conquered, Seeds of Culture. Alexander was not simply a conqueror, he was a builder, a visionary who understood that true power lay not just in military might, but in the dissemination of culture and ideas. Throughout his vast empire, he founded cities, over 70 by some accounts, each one a testament to his ambition and a beacon of Greek culture in foreign lands. These cities, strategically located and carefully planned, were not merely military outposts. They were centers of commerce, learning, and cultural exchange designed to integrate the conquered peoples into Alexander's vision of a Hellenistic world. The most famous of these cities, Alexandria in Egypt, would become one of the greatest metropolises of the ancient world, a center of learning and trade that would rival even Athens in its glory. These cities were more than just bricks and mortar. They were crucibles where Greek culture interacted with local traditions, giving birth to new forms of art, architecture, and philosophy. They attracted scholars, artists, and merchants from all corners of Alexander's empire, creating vibrant cultural melting pots that would shape the intellectual and artistic landscape of the Hellenistic world. The cities founded by Alexander were not just symbols of his dominion, they were seeds of cultural exchange, planted throughout his empire that would blossom long after his death. Section 5. The Governance of an Empire, Satraps and Successors. Ruling an empire as vast and diverse as Alexander's was a monumental task, one that required a delicate balance of force and diplomacy. Initially, Alexander retained the existing Persian administrative system, dividing his empire into satrapies ruled by appointed governors. These satraps, often drawn from the ranks of the Persian nobility, were responsible for collecting taxes, maintaining order, and ensuring the loyalty of their subjects. However, Alexander also implemented changes, replacing Persian officials with Macedonians and Greeks, a move that caused resentment among the conquered population. He understood the importance of integrating the Persian elite into his administration, but he also wanted to ensure the loyalty of his new subjects. This delicate balancing act would prove to be one of the greatest challenges of his reign. Alexander's untimely death in 323 BCE, at the age of 32, left his vast empire without a clear heir. His generals, known as the Diadochi, carved up the empire amongst themselves, plunging the Hellenistic world into decades of warfare. This fragmentation, while tragic, facilitated the spread of Greek culture and ideas even further, as each successor kingdom sought to emulate the glory of Alexander's reign. Though Alexander's empire was short-lived, his successors ensured that his vision of a Hellenistic world would endure for centuries to come. Section 6. The Hellenic Wave, a Cultural Tsunami. Alexander's conquests were not just military campaigns, they were catalysts for a cultural tsunami that would sweep across the ancient world. Greek language, art, architecture, and philosophy spread eastward, carried by the currents of trade, migration, and conquest. This process, known as Hellenization, transformed the cultural landscape of the ancient Near East, leaving an indelible mark on the regions Alexander conquered. Greek became the language of administration, commerce, and scholarship throughout the Hellenistic world. It was a language of opportunity, spoken by merchants, diplomats, and scholars from the shores of the Aegean to the banks of the Indus. This linguistic common ground facilitated the exchange of ideas, beliefs, and artistic expressions, creating a vibrant cultural fusion that transcended geographical boundaries. Greek art and architecture, renowned for their beauty and sophistication, were eagerly adopted by local elites throughout the Hellenistic world. Temples, theaters, and public buildings were constructed in the Greek style, showcasing the prestige and influence of Greek culture. This architectural transformation was not merely cosmetic, it reflected a deeper cultural shift, as Greek aesthetic ideals were embraced and reinterpreted by local artisans. The Hellenic wave, like a cultural tsunami, reshaped the cultural landscape of the ancient Near East, leaving behind a legacy that would endure for centuries to come.